GatherTown is a virtual room where you can meet each other and interact with objects, solve puzzles, watch videos. It's basically a virtual meeting room. The first thing you do is you create your own avatar. You can pick a hat, make your hair color, yeah, really personalize your character. It makes it a very welcoming space for everyone. It is a game, but it's also a social platform. Since it's so versatile, you can really make it your own way, design it your own way, implement certain elements. I think that's what makes it a perfect tool for educational purposes. This is part of a legal skills course, which basically goes through 3 years of bachelor's, and this is for the first year's bachelor students. And in this legal skills course, basically students are prepared for after graduating. So if they work in the legal field, they need to have certain skills, written skills, oral skills, but also knowing where to find your sources. And that last part, knowing where to find your legal sources, is what is a central focus in this course in GatherTown. The transformation to the game made it that the students basically answer the same question that they used to answer before, but they do it in a completely different way. They can make more mistakes because a game is a safer environment than a regular Canvas quiz, and they have to collaborate. So yeah, I think that's from a teaching side of view, it really enhanced the teaching experience in that way. A lot of students like the game aspect of it. The game aspect and the collaboration aspect of it as well. Because that's something that I haven't mentioned before, but students actually collaborate together. So they're in groups and they have to solve the puzzles together. I think it definitely proved that there is a lot of promises in gamified education. And yeah, we're looking into ways to implement it into other courses at other faculties as well.
So good afternoon. It's lovely to see so many people here today. I'm very excited to share with you our story of how we gamified a course for 1,500 students at the Erasmus School of Law. I'm Alex Whitcomb, by the way. I'm the operations manager of Erasmus X and also the project lead for this project. Come on, clicker, please. There we go. So my presentation will follow a similar structure to Patrick's. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we got involved at the beginning of this project, what the main goal was, how we went about doing it, what the results were, and of course, most importantly, what's next. So why did we get started with this? Well, it actually all started with this man over here, Koen Swinnen, who is courageous and innovative and someone who wanted to do something a little different. He had been building a new module for a course in legal tech for Bachelor 1 students. And actually this course, according to Koen, and these are his words, not mine, was a little bit dry, let's say, in his original conception. So he wanted to make it a bit more engaging, interesting. He wanted to bring it to 1,500 students, of which we had half of them part-time and actually working while studying. So there was a nice challenge there. And of course it was online, so this was the COVID time, so we had the pandemic and it had to be fully online. And Koen had heard about Minecraft. That was something that made Erasmus X a bit known around the campus. And he said, yeah, I want to do this in Minecraft because that's cool. That's a good idea. So we got talking and we had a couple of discussions with Koen and also Fenneke from the Learning and Innovation team. Come on. Yes, so after the first discussions we had with Koen, he kind of formalized the goal. He said, okay, I need to teach legal tech to 1,500 students using an online platform. And he wanted to make sure that it was interesting, fun. He wanted students to collaborate, to work together. And he also, very importantly, wanted to ensure that the course was what he called low teacher intensity, so it wasn't just very time intensive for teachers to execute this. So this was what came out of the first session that we had with Koen. And at Erasmus X, we thought this is cool, this is interesting, let's jump in. And how did we go about it? Well, the very first thing is we tried to verify the problem. So we didn't just take Koen's idea at face value, but we went and talked to people. Most importantly, we spoke to students from ESL who had done the first year of the law program. And we also spoke to members of the Learning and Innovation team and colleagues of Koen, and we kind of dug into, is this really a dry kind of course? Is this something that would benefit from some funky design with an online platform that is not traditional? And we also did desk research into the terms of how to make a sense of belonging in the classroom using online environments. And after all the discussions and the research, we were happy. We thought, okay, this is something worth pursuing further. This is something we want to tackle. This is something we can help out with. This is validated. We also mapped the stakeholders. It became very important very quickly that there were two main stakeholders. We were going to gamify something or do something engaging for 1,500 students in small groups with collaboration. We needed IT because there were a lot of pointers to maybe needing to automate things. So we managed to steal Jaap. Thanks, Jaap. From IT to join our project team for a bit. And of course, Harriet Schalhaas, who at the time was the Vice Dean of ESL and the Director of Education. We were innovating in her faculty, so we had to keep her in the loop. We did that through the Learning Innovation team and also through Koen. This is the team. We had quite a lot of lovely people. I see Sana sitting in the front over here. And it was a diverse team with students, staff from the faculties. Yeah, there we go. I'm pressing the laser. Yeah, sorry. So then after we had this validated problem, we went into ideation in a typical Erasmus X fashion. We did it in co-creation. So we organized the game storm with someone from the HKU, a game design professor. And also we paired ESL students with game design students. And we brought in ESL teachers, the Learning Innovation team, and our team as well. And out of this game storm, we kind of had 4 different concepts. And the red thread with all these concepts was some sort of escape room kind of mechanics. And we were looking at Minecraft and the platform Gather. And so after we had kind of brought these concepts together, we decided, okay, let's focus in on escape room type mechanics using these platforms. And we ran prototyping, we tested. We ran a lot of different sessions with small groups of students. You can see some of them were in Minecraft, some of them were in Gather. And we tested for things like usability of the platform. We tested for the actual learning, are they meeting the learning objectives? We tested for the goal, the kind of goal of collaboration and also engagement. Is it fun? Is it interesting? And we found that we were really on the right track after doing all of this prototyping, except Minecraft had to go because it was too tech intense and not easy for non-gamers, whereas Gather offered a lot more options and much more ease of use. So we continued in Gather, and we decided to couple that with Canvas, of course, so that there was some familiarity for the students. And this is a little bit what came out of it. So this is an example of a room that you can see. This is an escape room. This was a social dilemma room where students had to run around in the room and speak to these different people, interact, solve a puzzle. Each of the rooms had standardized features, so it made it a bit easy for students to progress. So we had the feedback from the previous room, so students would learn about what they did right or wrong in the previous challenge. Then we had the instructions for the assignment. We had the game elements, so each of the rooms had a puzzle, so we had that kind of game computer to show that. We had the interactable characters and things that you interacted with in the room, and then finally we had tips for people who were a little bit lost and needed help. We also very importantly organized a launch event. With new technologies and platforms, it's essential to get people on board and understand the platform. These are some images from that. We also had an epic fail where we learned that apparently on GatherTown you cannot share your audio and video with more than 250 people. Something we didn't understand when we set this up. We had more than 500 people in there. And we had to troubleshoot on the spot, and luckily we learned very quickly about this little issue, and everything worked out in the end. So what did we achieve? Well, first and foremost, we created a series of escape room games in Gather Town in small groups, and we had different environments. But also, it's important to know we're doing formal research on this. We have a postdoc who's doing proper research into the effect of engagement, sense of belonging, and how that impacts learning in these escape room kind of games. But we also did focus groups and the course evaluation, and we found that a lot of the students reported back that they really enjoyed getting to know their peers. This was 1,500 students. Some of them were working part-time, but they really enjoyed the engagement. They found it interesting to collaborate on puzzles. Some of the rooms really forced people to collaborate, to solve the puzzle and understand the learning. And we also found that, unfortunately, some of the early rooms might have been a little bit too easy, so we had to tweak and adjust that to ramp up the difficulty level. So what's next? Well, we did this for ESL. We're working on a version 2.0. But we also want to scale this and make this accessible to people beyond just a specific course. And we also want to make it platform agnostic. So we're really building blueprints, conceptual templates on how to build escape room-based mechanics into your course, and also then a toolkit to bring this further beyond just the law faculty. And that's it. Sorry about the clicker shenanigans, but thanks for listening, and enjoy the next presentation.